All right, welcome back to another episode of Global Politics Africa. Today we're going to focus on South Africa and on Cyril Ramaphosa, who apparently is begging Donald Trump as much as possible to send somebody to South Africa to represent the U.S. in the G20 meetings. Let me start off with what Ramaphosa said when he went to the U.S. Earlier this year. He said, I want President Trump to please be there when we have our G20 in South Africa, because we don't want to pass off the baton for the next G20 in America to an empty chair. So we expect him to be there. That's what he said before. Then later on, the war started. He said, I don't give a fuck if if Donald Trump is not coming to our G20. Good riddance is his loss. Then today, he said, I have very good news. The US will be participating in the G20 in one form or another. In other words, he's saying Trump ain't going to be here. There will be someone to receive the baton from us so that we can hand it over. So you see, months later, he's still talking about that. We need to hand it to somebody. This is about his ego. He doesn't want to be embarrassed. And
Yeah.
Trump didn't respond. Trump's secretary responded. She said, Cyril Ramaphosa is a liar. We're not sending anybody to South Africa. He's a liar and he's desperate and he's a loser. I'm paraphrasing it. He just said himself, and this goes back to what I was telling you, Alex, in which you kiss somebody else's ass and they keep on insulting you. He said they would send somebody. And if it had been me and somebody lied and said I was going to send somebody, I wouldn't say anything. But for America to go out of their way to insult him like that, it means that he needs to focus on South Africa and stop focusing on the US. Who gives a fuck if the US doesn't come to the G20? People say, oh, they must come, they're part of it. In Africa, we don't care what America does anymore because they don't care about us and they only want to destroy us. That's all I have to say. What are your thoughts, uh, Alex?
Yeah, you know, the fact that you announced, like, why did he actually have to announce it, like, publicly?
I know.
Why
I
couldn't
think that's a flaw for him. I think we now see Ramaphosa's weakness because he's a cool customer. He's fucking up Niger, South Africa, selling resources to America. Even as he's begging America now, he's doing business with Elon Musk to bring in that thing. So I think this is for him. He wants to save his own face. This is his own personal embarrassment. It's not about South Africa. Sorry to cut in front. What do you think? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, like, I think by claiming Trump would attend, he was trying to create this public expectation, you
yeah.
know, like the United States is coming to
In
make
one
it
form
look
or
like the trade is so important that even Donald Trump is coming.
yeah,
But, and also to control the narrative, if people are
yeah,
disappointed, you can spin it later. Look, we tried everything to get Trump on
yeah.
the table. It's on them that he didn't show. But it's just really embarrassing because, like, why? Like,
And
to
here's the
that
thing,
point,
because he said it before 6 months earlier. He said we need to hand it over. So it shows that that's on his mind. He doesn't want the embarrassment. That's not about South Africa. Then he says apparently America said they weren't going to do it, or they told him they were going to do it, and they made him look like a fool. He now says in one form or another they'll be there. They will have a representative. They will have a representative to accept the passing of the mantle. Yeah, you talk the passing of the mantle, and then they come out and say he's a fucking lie. So they keep humiliating him. And here's the thing: as a human being, you can't continue to ask for acceptance from people who insult you. You get my point. And I think
yeah,
what you're saying is true. He didn't think that they would respond. He thought that they wouldn't say anything, but they said
yeah,
something, and the message is clear. And also, the this is the message to South Africans and to Africans in general. So what? The U.S. isn't coming to your G20. The G20 is supposed to be a cooperative group, right, Alex? Does the U.S. even cooperate with Africa or do anything? They act. So I'm trying to say the G20 is like the UN. It's a group. It's a lie. They say, "Oh, we're all together." We know that they're not all together. You understand what I'm saying, Alex? It's a
but
facade.
like
It's just like
the
saying
difference is the facade.
it's a
Like,
facade.
what
Yeah.
we need
And
to
so
talk
them
about
not
what it is really about.
it's a facade. And if the U.S. comes or doesn't come, it's not going to change the business dealings that South Africa has with the U.S. because we all know that money is number one. If even if Trump
Yeah,
doesn't come, there are still deals that Ramaphosa is doing with the U.S. Now I did my research. He's still working out with Elon Musk to do his Starlink and all that. So my point being is that all of this come to my G20. Remember, Putin couldn't come to South Africa's meeting, the BRICS meeting in South Africa, because Putin said he wouldn't come because he didn't want to put South Africa on the line because South Africa is part of the ICC and they said they have to arrest Putin. So my point being, it doesn't matter. It's only symbolic. But in this world where there's gender-based violence in South Africa, there's people from Palestine being shipped in illegally. There's an immigrant crisis. There's xenophobia. There's drugs. And I'm not talking bad
Distractions,
about South
all
Africa.
distractions.
Yeah, none. It doesn't matter if America comes to a G20 because him coming to the G20 won't solve the problems in South Africa. And I'm not pointing out South Africa. Any country, Nigeria. If Trump doesn't want to come to a G20 in Nigeria, why do I care? Because him coming is not going to solve the problem. So I think it's time for Africa now. This shouldn't even be a news story. We shouldn't be doing this. We shouldn't care about America. We should just be doing our content focused on problems that we can solve within our countries without. In fact, this will be the last time we talk about America on an African channel, unless it's something that they're doing to us, which is going to affect us. But them not coming to the G20 doesn't affect Africa or South Africa at all. What are your thoughts, Alex? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely it. Why are we talking about Donald Trump anyways? I mean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
America is in debt.
You know
America
why?
is
Because
in
it's good
debt.
for the YouTube algorithm. It's good for the YouTube algorithm.
Yeah.
We need to
But
start
like,
talking more about Malema on some of our shows. Go ahead. Yeah.
no, I feel like we should really be talking about what I think or believe what the G20 is actually about,
Yeah. What do you think
because
it's about? Yeah. Mhm.
I think, let me tell you what I really think is happening.
Yeah.
These presidents aren't here for meetings, they're here for land.
That's it.
I said land, they're here for
Land
land.
and resource. Yep. That's it.
Yeah. I genuinely believe Ramaphosa has turned the G20 into the biggest private viewing in history. Think
Yeah.
about it. You don't gather the most powerful nations in the world in one country, especially in Africa. What would
Yeah.
just happen to be in a national crisis about land ownership, GBV, and whatever. And
Yeah.
they believe that they're here to talk about corporations. They're here to shop.
Yeah.
And
And that's why he wants.
Ramaphosa
That's why
is
he
the
wants Trump
option.
there. That's why he wants Trump there because he wants money and he wants deals to sell
Yeah.
South Africa. Yeah, I think so. Sorry, good. That's a brilliant view. You have an original view. Yeah, I was thinking I'm supposed to be the genius. You're the damn genius here. Continue. Go ahead. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like I can see the scene in my mind, like India negotiating for a slice of Durban, friends trying to buy the vineyards in the
Yeah.
Western Cape
Seven
to
bucks.
add to
Yeah.
their wine empire. And
Yeah.
Ramaphosa standing there with a clipboard like, gentlemen, please, one president at a time.
One person at a
Yeah, and South Africans should care. Okay, they should actually care because while we're sitting here debating whether the US is boycotting or not, the real game might be happening behind closed doors, like a silent auction of South Africa's future. Like, if
Yep.
you ask me, this G20 isn't a summit, it's a global buyers meeting. And South Africa is a catalog. And also, it made me think about the refugees they came here. Like, it's like they're bringing people in, and now the
Palestine.
president coming in, yes, to buy the land, possibly. Like, it's just, I don't know. What do you think?
And he basically what he's saying is that Donald Trump, you gotta come, man. We got to send some more white people to your countries, more white Africans. And then on TV, I'll say it's a lie that they're not being killed. I mean, no, it's a lie. I'll say that they're not being
It
killed, but
is,
I still want to send them to you. And also bring business because I need more money. I can't just keep getting money from Kat Matlala. I also need American money too. Seriously,
yeah,
that's what's going on. And it's an auction. And so the thing is that that's the importance of our show now to redirect African people. I don't want to just say South Africa, redirect them. Don't pay attention to all
yeah,
of this. It's all smoke and mirrors. But you're right. The G20 is an auction for Russia, China, and all other countries to continue to rape the African continent through South Africa, through Nigeria, and everybody else. What other thoughts do you have before we head out? Yeah.
um, I feel like what South Africans are not realizing about this is that we're distracted. Now today there was, I mean, we're still focused on the gender-based
Oh
the
yeah, they had protests in all over the country.
shutdown.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes. While we're arguing about potholes, ESCOM, who posted what on TikTok. The global giants are quietly lending, and I mean, they've already landed to
Yes.
negotiate the future of South African land, influence, and resources before the rest
Yeah.
of us wake up. And
Yep.
here's the real reason people don't see it. We've been coordinated to think global politics is far away. South Africans think the G20 is some international meeting for other countries, not
Exactly.
realizing that the stage is ours. And these leaders didn't fly 12 hours to eat Sunday course,
No,
you
yeah.
know. It's,
And you're now what you're now doing is that you're making me realize that even Ramaphosa, he might be involved in him being assaulted by the U.S. to create a news story which detracts from the gender
yeah,
violence. And
definitely.
yeah, so I said that he was desperate. He's not desperate. He's also playing the game because he wants that to be the main story. Because I saw that gender-based violence thing, but I saw it on Facebook. Women in
Yeah,
Swanik were complaining, but now this is the story. And on top of that, this G20 is directly linked to the gender-based violence. This is what I mean. Because Western countries are eating up South Africa's resources, there's poverty and there's frustration, which actually leads to violence, gender-based violence, xenophobia, and everything else. Because people are angry and anxious and they take it out on themselves when the economy isn't doing well. So there's a connection, like you said, there's a connection between G20, all these meetings that South Africa is having in foreign countries, and the problems within the country, like gender based violence, suicide, and drug use. So we need to see that it's connected. And all these headlines about Trump versus the US and everything, probably Ramaphosa called them and said, "Great one." They're pretending, even when the U.S. is insulting Ramaphosa, he's in on the game because they want us to be talking about that rather than what you mentioned, which is that we're supposed to be
yeah.
focused on two things: problems within South Africa and how they're related to South Africa's being part of G20 and all that, which is just to exploit South Africa. Yes. What are your last thoughts? Yeah.
Uh,
Good show.
okay. My final take.
Yeah.
The summit is not a ceremonial meeting of world leaders. It's
No.
a high stakes power and asset game. And South Africans should care, not just as citizens, but as the owners of the very land these leaders are quietly shopping for. If we
Yeah.
don't pay attention now, the winners of this summit might be the countries where we live with more than just handshake agreements. They might live with pieces of South Africa itself. So we
Yep.
must
Yep.
wake up.
Yeah, and I'll end with this. Elon Musk has said that black South Africans are killing white South Africans, which is a lie. I mean, there's murders, but he's saying there's a genocide. But still, Ramaphosa is still working with Elon Musk to bring in Elon Musk satellites into
Yeah.
South Africa.
He
So
doesn't
we don't
care.
want to listen to anything they say. Uh, Very, very good. So I'll see you next week. We'll do one more show for the month. Enjoy. Are you going out tonight? It's almost time for Woza December in Jersey.
I'm going to sleep.
Oh, you're going to sleep. Good job. Stay away. Don't party, man. All right, so I'll see you next week. Very good show. Thank you. Okay. That was a good one. You had